What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my podcast. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I saw something on Twitter that really had everybody talking, and it makes sense in lots of ways, right? But when you think about it, it can make sense for them to actually move on without the Sentai and putting a lot of money into it, like the MCU and any other Hollywood project that has the best CGI and the best cinematography when it comes to dramatic scenes and fight scenes and whatnot. But when you think about it, a lot of it could work if you hire new writers that know how to write good stories and good episodes, and hire some good martial arts stunt coordinators that can add the violence like you had in Once and Always. Now, if you do stuff like that within the Jonathan and Twizzle project, or them continuing to adapt the Sentai, but without using the Sentai footage, but more original, but with more money being put into it. So this part on Twitter that had everybody talking, and it really has me curious, is to know, can this franchise succeed without the Sentai? So we're gonna find out once we get into this part. It says, the word cheesy gets thrown around as though it's a bad thing. It says Owen Dale, along with Becca Barnes, is the head writer on the project. But there's a real joy to the tone of Power Rangers that has to be protected. The minute it becomes too serious or grimdark, there's a real gut feeling that rejects that. Let's be honest here. Becca Barnes and Owen Dale are not the best writers in Power Rangers, let's be honest. And I know once I share this on my Twitter, they're gonna see this post and they're gonna watch my videos. And whether they understand it or not, it's just how I feel, in my honest opinion. But to me, they're not the best writers and they don't really know how to write good stories. But you gotta give them credit to where it's due for writing some good episodes of Power Rangers Down on Fury, and especially in the second half of season 2 of that show that was so good and done right. But the Rangers that stood out to me the most was Izzy and Amelia. Especially Amelia, because she had an arc in both seasons. But it was Izzy that stood out to me by being the first official LGBT Ranger in Power Rangers history that took them nearly 30 years of making it official. And it worked. It completely worked. Which is why she became my top 5 Green Rangers of all time. And that was because of the writing. So, get it back on topic. Will this franchise succeed without the Sentai? Yes and no. First, I say yes, because if you want to be original, you have to be creative in your own way, in your own mind. But if you were to adapt another Sentai show in the Power Rangers, you have to stop using Sentai and just try to be original, but be more similar. Like, for instance, King Ultra, for example, right? You see how good the CGI look, how good the suits look, and how good the fight scenes are, whether it's in fast motion and slow motion. But if you do stuff like that within the future Power Ranger shows, whether it's gonna be in the Jonathan and Twizzle project or continuing to adapt the Sentai shows, and I don't want to hear anything about them, they need to adapt Zyuohger or Tokyuger. I don't care about those shows. I'm talking about the topic I'm interested in, and so I know certain people that commented, then I would have to delete it. But like I said, can this franchise succeed without the Sentai? Yes, they could, if they were originally being creative in its own way by using some elements from King Ultra when it comes to the fight scenes and the CGI, but with a little bit more money. Or you could just watch the Blue Beetle movie, for example. All of the neon colors that are highlighted, the weapons being used, the fight scenes, but with some good acting, drama, comedy, but make it less cheese. But if you do it right, it's gonna work. Or if you don't have the type of money to be put into the show, if it's low budget like Once and Always was, I think it's gonna be done beautifully. So let me know what y'all thoughts are in the chat. Do you think it's gonna work? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'ma holla. So originally I was going to end the video asking, do you think it's gonna work without Sentai? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. But I fully did not address no, it will not work without the Sentai stock footage. It's because it's what made Power Rangers famous in the first place, while using Japanese stock footage, because the audiences are not gonna know what the story is gonna be about or which story is gonna be adapted from the Sentai. So you definitely need Japanese stock footage to adapt certain episodes from the Sentai into a storyline. Whether it's gonna be cheesy or it's gonna be mature or good, but if it's gonna be mature with good acting while using the Japanese stock footage, I think it could work. But to me, I'm mixed on it though. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the chat. Do you think it's gonna work without it? Yes or no? Type it in the chat, and I'm out of here. Peace.